Okay, this next comic come to the stage, you guys, is here all the way from Cincinnati. Please give a warm welcome to John Bunyan.
Hey. Oh, man. You guys like Mary? I am also an accountant in real life, and it's a good job for a nerd like me, kind of quiet person. But actually, being up here is actually a safer space for somebody who's really an introvert and has social anxiety, because I can be as bold as I want to be, and I can say, I can just do my job, and nobody says shit about my failure to be accurate or drinking on the job, stuff like that. But then, I get off the stage and immediately, more turtle-like shrink back into myself, and I'm very, socially awkward, actually, and I have trouble meeting people, talking, particularly to women, like Brian was saying. I have trouble talking to women. It's been that way my whole life. When I was young, I was awkward talking to young women. Now I'm old, and creepy is the word that they use. But I just really wish I had more confidence, and that it was easier for me. And this is this is an extreme example, and kind of just to show you a high level of confidence. I was at this bar, and this guy walks in. He's in the bar, and he just walks up to this woman at the bar, and he just goes, "Hey, those are some nice fuck me shoes." And I thought, wow, that seems rude. But she liked it. It's like he was charming enough that she just smiled and they started talking. And I could never pull that off, I just couldn't. She just laughed at me because the thought of me trying to, and I wouldn't say what he said, of course, because I don't know what fuck me shoes are. But, I get the concept. I kind of get the idea. But one time I went up to a woman that I thought was wearing fuck me shoes. Turns out she had on fuck you shoes. I didn't even know those were a thing. Men do not have, sexual activity specific footwear, actually. So it's just not something I'm familiar with. Pretty much anything that we're wearing is just saying, I'm ready, do me. Unless it's Crocs, which just say, never mind, I'll do it myself. My wife's fuck me shoes are a pair of fuzzy slippers. She comes out in the fuzzy slippers and the blue bathrobe, and it's party time. It's like, hey baby, if we hurry, we can get done before 10 o'clock news. But my wife and I have been married for 38 years. Yeah, sorry. No, I wasn't pausing for applause. I was just trying to remember why. No, we love each other. It's a good relationship. We've been together a long time. And, it's hard, though, after that much time to, keep your romance going. It's difficult. This is basically where we are now. It's like if it's late at night, one of us is standing there in our underwear going, hey, sweetie, you want a piece of this? You want a piece of this? It's just leftover pie. It's leftover pie. We're not that is our passion. But we try to keep it going. We try to work on it, try to find ways to spice things up. So my wife reads Cosmogramma. And, they say, they recommend if you want to freshen up your romance, take some romantic vacations, So we tried that. Went to a nice B&B down in Asheville, and a quaint hotel in Martha's Vineyard. And that worked. The sex was really awesome. We just can't afford to keep taking those separate vacations, so. You guys I'm sure you've seen on social media those things that are like, hey, 25 things you've probably been doing wrong, or 10 things you've been doing wrong your whole life. Like before the internet, what did we do to find out how ignorant and incompetent we were? we got married. That's what I did. You know, my wife has explained all those things to me that I don't know. Actually, it may seem kind of counterintuitive, but after 38 years, like, communication gets more difficult because basically you don't want to do it anymore. It's like if we're at home, like I'm sitting on the couch, I'm sitting on the couch drinking a beer, watching TV, and all of a sudden I can sense, I know that my wife is sitting over there in her chair on this side, and then I know she's looking at me. But I don't look at her. I don't make eye contact. Because if I do, she'll talk to me. So I put up a force field. But she has a tractor beam. It's the force of our love. And eventually I look over there, and she says, I just need to talk to you for a minute, which is not too bad. If she says, we need to talk, that means you need a lawyer. She says, I just need to talk to you for a minute, that just means you need to listen to me for 5 minutes or more. So I do, and then she says something, and then to watching TV, and then it might be later that day, it might be a couple days later, I'm sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, watching TV, she's over here, and then she says, what about that thing that I asked you, what happened with that? I go, what? She goes, you were sitting here watching, and I talked to you for a minute, and then I said something, and then you never did it. And the thing was, I wasn't really listening because I didn't care. So I lie and I say I forgot, because that's the way men communicate. When we either we don't care, or we lie, or we forget what we're talking about. Women never forget anything, and they can repeat it all back to you out loud at any time. And they care about everything equally, so you don't know what to focus on. You don't know how to prioritize what they want, But women never lie, I am told. The thing is that they just deny that they meant what you heard. And I'll call my wife out on that all the time. I'll call her out and say, you said this, and she goes, well, obviously that's not what I meant. And she says, why do you take everything so literally? You're always so literal. And I know that's true. That's a feeling of mine. I tend to say words that convey the meaning of what idea I'm trying to express. Not right. It's not right to do that. But that's what I do. And I am obviously an older person. But I like to think that I'm as woke as fuck as the next person. But I'm not. I'm not really woke as fuck. I'm more maybe woke as foreplay. I'm kind of like around second base. Like I'm not even as woke as fingering, That's a lot of F words. Some people don't like. I have a friend who said when he was a kid, the F word was fart. He wasn't allowed to say fart. When I was growing up, we were allowed to say that, but we never actually said it because we weren't actually allowed to fart. That was too direct an expression of what was inside. In my family, basically gas and emotions were treated the same way. We just desperately held them inside until they burst forth with a destructive force, and everybody just fled the room because of the toxic atmosphere. You didn't talk about it. And that's important because when I was young, I wanted to be a comedian, but all the comedians that I liked, they came from bad neighborhoods or poverty, and we were middle class in the suburbs, and they came from dysfunctional families, and I knew I had a dysfunctional family, but I didn't know what the dysfunction was because we didn't talk about it. My mom said, your dad and I love you very much, we're divorced, and isn't that something to talk about? I said, no, everybody's parents are divorced. If you really love me, you'd be a crack whore. But so that's why I didn't start comedy till much later. But you know, my mom also said strange things like, you know, wear clean underwear in case you get in an accident. And I thought, is that the way that the paramedics do triage? You know, like, hey, look at this one's underwear. Like, call his mom. You know, tell her her son's not coming home. You know, he wouldn't listen. She also said, eat all your vegetables because there's starving kids in China who would love to have those vegetables. And I thought that was amazing because, you know, I could eat my vegetables over here and end hunger in the largest country in the world over there. You know, it's just incredible thought to me. So I did that my whole life. I ate my vegetables. And when I went to college, my roommate was actually from mainland China. This is true. He grew up in China and he came to the U.S. He went to college. He was my roommate. So on the first day, he said, "Hi, I'm Hart Lee." And I said, "Hi. You probably know who I am." I assumed it was in all the papers over there. I said, "I'm the guy that ate his vegetables so you wouldn't starve." And he said, "We were never starving." And I said, "Well, you're welcome." All right, that's it for me, you guys. Thanks very much.